Hi everyone, this is attorney Lillian and I am here today with your Tuesday tip. So, what is a removal of condition? This is basically where you have a green card through your spouse and it is a 2-year green card. Okay. Remember, if you have a 2-year green card, it's a conditional residency, and you have to remove that condition within 2 years of having that card. So before the card expires, you have to file to remove the condition. So if you do all of that, you file your application, you have your interview. Some cases do not get interviewed, but most do. You have your interview. And then the next thing after your interview is for the officer to either approve it or to ask for more information before they feel comfortable approving your case. So we want to go through these step by step from beginning to the actual interview on things you can do to make your case strong from the jump and to prepare you for your interview, because those are the things that make or break your case. Okay, so now, the third thing that I want to tell you is make sure you file within the 2 years, right? If your 2-year green card expires, let's say March 30th, 2022, don't go filing on March, 31st, on April 1st, 2022. Your application has to be in before the deadline. Your application has to be in before the deadline. So before your card expires, USCIS should have received your application, especially if you're filing jointly with your spouse. Okay, if you're filing jointly with your spouse, the rules say USCIS has to receive your application to remove the condition before your 2 years expires. So make sure you are following through and actually keeping an eye on when your card expires. Even if you have to put a note for yourself, a calendar event on your phone to remind you of when it expires, so that you get a notification maybe 2 months prior, a month prior, so that you can get that application out before the due date. You really want to pay attention to the actual date that you have to have your application in by. Now, if you're filing based on, let's say, abuse or divorce, the deadline is not as strict, but it's usually a good idea to still file it within that 2 years, because once you file, you'll get an extension. Right now, those extensions are for up to 2 years. So you really want to make sure that as you're filing, that you're getting that extension. So if you wait 6 months, even if it's a waiver application where there was a divorce, if you wait 6 months, that's 6 months that you don't have proof of your status, right? That's a year that you don't have proof of your status. And eventually, depending on when your on when your job does their annual review to make sure that everyone is still eligible to work, or when your driver's license expires, you do need proof of your status to renew your license, for your job to basically verify your status. So that's another reason to file on time, because it does have other effects other than just delaying your removal of condition case. It can have other effects as far as having proof of your status. So anything that requires you to have proof of status, if you miss the deadline and the longer you wait to file, the longer it is that you're going to not have proof of your status. So just keep that in mind. When you do file, your receipt notice will be proof of your status, and it does automatically extend your status up to 2 years. and you want to hold on to that, you can travel with that. That is proof that you are a resident of the United States. So you do not want to lose that, okay? You want to keep that. So you really want to make sure that 1, you have all your documentations, 2, you prepare for the interview, and 3, that you filed your application within the time frame that's given to you, which is before your 2 years expires. However, it is not entirely fatal if you file outside of that 2 years, but there are consequences outside of immigration that you may suffer, like not being able to renew your license, or similar things that require proof of your status. So just pay attention to the date that your 2 years expires, because that can make a huge difference on what you can actually do as far as proof of status. Okay, and just know, while your application is pending, you can travel with that notice showing that your status has been extended. So it's a lot of benefits to filing within the 2 years, or as soon as you're able to. Okay, so that is your tip for today. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. And if you like this video, go ahead and share it. If you know someone who needs to hear this, go ahead and share the video with them. If you like what I'm talking about, like the video. And if you're watching in a place that you can subscribe and you do not want to miss any of my uploads, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I am Lillian Chukura. I am the lawyer and owner of Lillylegal, where we help our clients get status for themselves and for their family using the U.S. immigration law system. Thank you. Bye.